as well. Our first guest is a travel and aviation specialist, Eoghan Corry. Eoghan, tell us about this Ryanair subscription service, which it introduced only this year, and why it has so swiftly decided to abandon it.
Good afternoon, Matt, and apologies to your listeners for my voice. Ryanair's Prime service was announced with great aplomb about 8 months ago. Sadly, it is no more. Ryanair took a look at it, found out instead of generating money for it, it was costing them, they calculated about 1.6 million. What appears to have happened is they put all these lovely offers up for people who signed up for their Prime deal, and they took too many flights. So, as with everything in Ryanair, if it isn't working, if it isn't making money, it's gone in the bin almost straight away.
Okay, the use of the word Prime, very similar to Amazon Prime. What was involved in the subscription service? What did people pay for it, and what did they get for it?
Listeners would be very familiar with the way Ryanair have operated throughout their history. 48-hour sales. You get these amazing offers. They all come, they're put up on the website. Everybody runs. That's how they have pretty much an industry-leading load factor. Most airlines, Aer Lingus, would be about 83, 84%. Ryanair usually between 92 and 96%. And it means they fill all their seats. What Prime was designed to do was you paid your subscription and you got the first divvy of the sale. It's like going in January to the front of the queue and getting your special place, and then you get all the bargains, and then you leave, for the rest of the public will get access to them. What didn't make sense is that loyalty schemes really haven't taken off, pardon the pun, with European airlines the same way as they do with American airlines. Everybody looks to America and they see the way people take extra flights because they have flight schemes with United or Delta or American. The Europeans don't tend to buy into that, and certainly the low-cost customers that would use Wizz and EasyJet and Ryanair don't buy into that in general. So it seemed a strange move at the time, and history has shown that it really didn't work. Wizz did something similar last year, and Michael O'Leary was particularly scathing in conversation about their attempt to create a sort of a loyalty scheme. It's very interesting that when he went for his loyalty scheme, it wasn't really based on what airlines do. Michael O'Leary would always say that Ryanair is in the commodities business. The people he looks to for leads are the likes of Lidl and Aldi and Tesco, the way they work. So I think they came up with this idea, this equivalent of the Lidl loyalty scheme or the Tesco club card. People would have their card, they'd get discounts. You'd have this loyalty, this returning customer. It would generate income. Didn't generate income, so pretty much chopped it after 8 months.
Okay, costing customers €79 annually. How many people actually signed up for it? They were looking to limit it to 250,000 subscribers, but only 55,000 signed up,
I think they were going for 80, but 55,000 would be 1/5. It certainly was well short of what they were expecting. But Matt, it shows you the Ryanair customer isn't going to be paying €80 or going to be paying extra for their annual membership, because they're very, very good at getting the €20 fares. The Glick guys, the clever guys, were the ones who will always be able to calculate their bags and their reserve seating and everything to save a few euro. And what happened quite clearly was they got the most clever of the clever. The ones who signed up were the ones who were determined to take as many flights as possible, and that's where they did the costs, and it worked out costing them a lot of money. Ryanair have a terrific record, by the way. They're very nimble for a huge airline, 200 million passengers a year. They're very nimble at when things are going wrong at changing. Places like Air France and Lufthansa and IAG Group, which owns Aer Lingus, it takes months to make make a decision. They're very quick. They just decided this isn't working. Let's stop. The way they do with routes. The way they do with their, they introduced an online internet service many years ago, binned it, got rid of it very, very quickly. It's another classic example of why Ryanair is successful. When something goes wrong, they pull it very, very quickly.
Well, finally, what about those who have signed up? Will they still get the benefits for a period of time, or all those ended prematurely as well?
The benefits are going to run for not an immense amount of time. They are going to be kept for the existing members, but they're going to run out fairly quickly. As with everything in Ryanair, they look at the contracts, they look at what they're likely to end up in court for ending, and they will cut off the existing members as soon as they're legally allowed to do so.